What is up guys, and welcome to my review of the Sony Xperia M2 Aqua.
Hiya Bobby.
Hi Ken.
You wanna go for a ride?
So this is marketed as a waterproof phone that everybody can enjoy, which basically means that it comes in at a decent price point, and that part about it being waterproof, well, unless you've seen my previous test, well, you'll find out soon enough guys. Let's get into it. In the hand, the build quality feels very solid and well made. It's probably not the most comfortable phone I've handled, mainly because of those slightly sharp volume and dedicated camera buttons always touching your fingers. The placement of the power button does become quite intuitive after a while, however. It's quite a light phone at 194 grams, and handling the phone on a daily basis becomes quite natural and a comfortable fit. Now, this display confuses me a bit, and I'll explain a bit later on. It doesn't really pop out at you that much, and you're not going to get that wow factor that you can find in the more premium devices such as the Z3, probably because it costs a third of that price. It's got an IPS 4.8 inch 540 by 960 QHD display, and where it doesn't look terrible or anything like that, it just didn't impress me that much, and it just looks okay. The M2 is running Android 4.4.4 in its Sony skin, and I happen to really like it. I like how Sony organised their software and the colour scheme they implement. It's very user friendly. So the M2 is a reasonably quick and responsive device, no real signs of lag, and it's nice to browse with too. One thing I really like is the M2 stock keyboard. I just like how clear it is and that slight vibration you get when typing. It's kind of satisfying. I think like most people nowadays, you use your smartphone a majority of the time for viewing video, and the playback you get from the M2 is actually really good, and this is what was confusing me before about the display. Well-made YouTube videos look surprisingly good, even though the maximum resolution you can view them at is 480p. Your average punter will be more than happy to view videos in that resolution on this phone. The only thing that let the camera down for me is viewing back your media on the screen. Sometimes it looks really sharp, sometimes it's quite unfocused. It doesn't really make any sense, to be honest with you, but that is what you get. But if you're going to be uploading these photos and videos from the M2 onto your computer, it's going to look just fine. I've been pretty impressed with the amount of battery life you get with this device. There's a 2330 mAh battery inside of it, so you can expect to get around 12 hours of light to moderate use from it, easily lasting you all day. So that's a plus for the battery life. And you can actually game on this phone as well. Gameplay frame rate is smooth for the most part, putting that Qualcomm Snapdragon 400 to good use, but the graphics do suffer because of that 230 ppi display. So let's talk about that waterproof feature. Yes, you can get away with it getting splashed on and having it being rained on, but to be honest, that's true of most phones that don't even advertise that they are waterproof nowadays. The truth is, you will run into problems if you're going to submerge this phone and try to take a video or photo. It will work, but maybe 60% of the time. Careful not to brick your phone. And to be honest with you guys, I think the M2 has so much else going for it that it doesn't really need to advertise the fact that it's waterproof so much. That shouldn't be its main selling point. So what about the call quality? This is a phone after all guys. Well, it's very good, very clear, very clean, very crispy, Team Crispy. And after spending some time with the M2, I can honestly say that it's not a bad device at all for the price. But its main advertised selling point with it being waterproof is true to a certain extent, but it is seriously flawed. Another drawback is that it only has 8 gig of internal memory. There is a card slot there to extend, but that is just too low nowadays for anybody in my opinion. I think this would be a really good device for somebody on a budget, or somebody who is new to the smartphone game and just wants to get on board with it. But what do you guys think? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. A big thank you to James over at Vodafone for the sample. Thanks for watching guys. I'll talk to you in the next one.